who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Dami DG Wilson Jack expressed enthusiasm over the Bayelsa State Government's construction of 9-story civil service secretariats. I am Messenger. Now the news in full. The Kano State Government has reiterated its commitment to strengthening collaboration with online organizations to enhance information dissemination. This was affirmed by the Commissioner of Information and Internal Affairs, Comrade Ibrahim Abdullahi Weya, during the stakeholders meeting with the Association of Online Media Organizations. Weya highlighted the significance of digital platform in delivering real-time news to a global audience. He assured that the government acknowledged the vital role of online media in public enlightenment and well engaged them in its communication strategies, policy dissemination, and capacity building initiatives. He also emphasized the need for ethical journalism, urging online media practitioners to uphold standards that respect individual rights and promote accuracy in reporting. Additionally, he encouraged unity among members of the association to strengthen their collective impact. In their responses, members of the Association of Online Media Organizations commended the Commissioner for recognizing their collaboration and called for further government support. They particularly requested assistance in securing retainship, arrangements to improve financial stability, and the provision of regular training for both new and existing members. The meeting was part of the state's ongoing engagement with key players in the information sector, aimed at fostering a more effective and professional media landscape. The Taraba State chapter of the Institute of Dietetics in Nigeria marked registered dietitians, nutritionists Day 2025 on March 12 with a public awareness event at the Taraba State main market. The gathering brought together dietitians, nutritionists, healthcare professionals, and policymakers to emphasize the role of the proper nutrition in disease prevention and overall well-being. Some TV correspondents filing the report.
Community on March 12, 2025 to celebrate Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day 2025 with a strong focus on promoting optimal nutrition and health. The event held at the Taraba State Main Market brought together registered dietitian, nutritionists, healthcare professionals, and policy makers to raise awareness about the importance of the proper nutrition in disease prevention and overall well-being. Delivering the keynote address, Mr. Stephen S. Ndam, chairman of the IDN Taraba State chapter, emphasized that nutrition is more than just food consumption. It plays a fundamental role in cultural identity, community building, and disease prevention. He highlighted the essential role of registered dietitian and nutritionist in improving healthcare outcomes through evidence-based nutrition practices. Speaking at the event, Mrs. Grace, head of dietetics and nutrition in Taraba State, reinforced the message of nutrition impact on public health. She stressed that the health society begins with well-being informed individual making right food choices. She also called for increased nutrition education and support for dietitians and nutritionists in public health initiatives. The event featured health screening, including blood pressure tests, sugar level checkups, and eye examination, as well as discussion on innovation in nutrition and dietetics. The IDN Taraba State chapter used the platform to advocate for increased awareness and policy support to strengthen the role of nutrition and dietetics in healthcare delivery. As Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day is celebrated annually worldwide, this year's event in Taraba State underscored the critical role of nutrition professionalism in tracking malnutrition, chronic diseases, and public health care challenges. The IDN Taraba State encouraged the public to appreciate the contribution of dietitians and nutritionists while urging policymakers to support initiatives that promote health eating and nutrition advocacy. With the success of this year's celebration, the IDN Taraba State chapter has set a strong precedent for future engagement in promoting nutrition and public health awareness in the state. The event serves as a call to action for individuals, communities, and stakeholders to recognize the power of nutrition in shaping a healthier future for all.
And to make sure that the community are healthy. Now, the essence is that when we have healthy communities and healthy people, I think we also have a healthy society. One of the implications of unhealthy society is that crime is part of it. Now, we are because we want to educate on the need of proper coordination and the implications that come as a result of bad policies and wrong discrimination.
Faithful foods that support our bodies. As we get older, making balanced choices from all foods provide the nutrients that are needed to support our healthy growth and aging. As part of National Nutrition Month celebrations, the Academy is proud to shine a spotlight on the critical work of registered dietitian nutritionists and nutrition and dietetics technicians research. In conclusion, so food is a way more than just food. It is how we connect with each other. Think about it. Our food is tied to our culture, and we bond with people when we eat together. Food can actually bring the whole world close. As dietitians, we see food as something that not only keeps us healthy, but also helps us understand different cultures and get along better. If we can get people to appreciate our food, bring us together, we can help them.
Teresa Ayuba reporting for Som TV.
Still from Taraba State. Taraba State University has taken a bold step in student leadership development by hosting its inaugural Student Leadership Training Workshop on March 12, 2025. The workshop themed Leadership Questions and Student Union Government in Universities, Problems and Prospects for National Development, aimed to equip student leadership with essential governance skills. Some TV reporters files in the reports.
Taraba State University TSU took a significant step towards strengthening student governance with the successful hosting of its inaugural Student Leadership Training Workshop on March 12, 2025. Theme: Leadership Question and Student Union Government in the Universities, Problems and Perspective for National Development. The event provided a platform for student leaders from various faculties and departments to engage in insightful discussion on leadership, governance, and student representation. The workshop held at Lecture Theatre LT1D was structured to equip participants with knowledge, skills, and ethical values necessary for effective leadership within the university community. Key highlights include paper presentation, interactive section, cultural performances, and goodwill message from dignitaries, university officials, and union leaders. Delivering the welcoming address, Dr. Atando Dauda Agbo, Dean of Student Affairs, emphasized the significance of responsible leadership among students, urging them to embrace integrity, transparency, and accountability in student governance. A major highlight of the workshop was the academic section, which featured 3 impactful paper presentations. One of the keynote speakers, Dr. Isa Muhammad, delivered a lecture on campus politics and leadership questions in Taraba State University. His presentation critically examined the influence of political ideology, federalism, and external interference in student election, warning against self-serving leadership in student governance. Following the paper presentation, an interactive section allows students to ask pressing questions and seek practical solutions to challenges within student governance. Participants actively engage in discussion on accountability, conflict resolution, and leadership ethics. Many student leaders expressed their appreciation for insights gained, with one describing the workshop as a transformation experience that will shape the future of the student governance as Taraba. Also addressing the gathering, Comrade Victor Abednego, President of the Taraba State University Union Government, expressed the gratitude of the university management for organizing the workshop. He acknowledged the challenge facing student leadership, particularly in areas of financial accountability, representation, and student welfare. He pleaded to work towards making the TSU-SUG a model for transparent and effective governance. The workshop was widely regarded a pioneering initiative in student leadership development, which participants departing gathered equipped to lead with vision, responsibility, and integrity. By hosting the groundbreaking leadership workshop, Taraba State University has reaffirmed its commitment to nurturing a new generation of ethical and competent student leaders. The initiative set a perspective for future training programs, ensuring that TSU student leaders are well prepared to contribute meaningful
on
national
student leaders
and governance
in their running of union activities in school. You see, this is by August I'll be 2 years as Dean of Student Affairs. I have seen that leaders, student union leaders, come on board, and what they are only thinking about is how do we empty the treasury. They are not thinking of how to impact positively on the students, how to leave positive legacy when they are gone. So that's why we met with the Vice Chancellor, and he gave us approval that we should be conducting this type of workshop for student leaders before any other thing. So at the beginning of every session, we're supposed to be conducting this type of workshop for student leaders, either SUG, TASU, SRA, president, faculty presidents, departmental presidents, and other social club ESCOs. So I believe that it's going to impact on them positively, and they are also going to impact on other students on campus positively.
This training was born out of the need to educate our student union leaders and association in Taraba State University on how to ensure effective governance of the student associations and unions, because we have observed over the years there have been problems of leadership in terms of managing their finances, in terms of creating partnership, and in terms of the general welfare of the students.
The ATM machine. So we're calling on the state government to ensure that the students staying off campus around ATC, as one of the biggest student settlements in Taraba State, have the security measures, a good security measures that will cope the issue of all these thieves and phone snatching in ATC. And another issue is the issue of water and electricity, most especially electricity. You see, we all came from a very poor home where our parents even struggle to cater for our needs. They struggle to pay our fees. And you come into school where you purchase a truck of water at the rate of 1,000, you charge your phone at the rate of 200. Okay, assuming you buy water like 4 to 5 times in a day. There are some of us that our parents only give us 10,000, and that is the only thing they can afford to give us. They imagine all these expenditures apart from when you come to school to get yourself handouts, to buy some booklets to read. You will discover that students are facing a lot of challenges. So we're begging on the state government to be able to, look into the issue of electricity in ATC.
Faith Apollos reporting for Sun TV.
Now heading on to Bayelsa State, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dami Didi Wilson Jack, expressed enthusiasm over Bayelsa State's government's construction of a 9-story civil service secretariat. Performing the groundbreaking ceremony in Yanagua, she described the project as a significant milestone and a lasting legacy of Governor Duye Diri's administration. She highlighted the civil service as the backbone of the governance, emphasizing the need for conducive environment to foster professionalism and efficiency. She commended the state government's commitment to strengthening institutional governance and service delivery. Governor Diri revealed that the secretariat, designed as an electronic complex, is valued at 46 billion naira. The government has already mobilized 30% of project funds, with an additional 20% set for release upon commencement. He assured that funding would not be an issue and set a 24-month completion timeline. He urged civil servants to reciprocate the government's support through dedication and productivity. The Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Moses Tiebowe, described the project as a government initiative aimed at providing a modern and functional workspace. The structure will integrate eco-friendly solutions, cover 26,762.99 square meters, and accommodate 155 parking spaces. Carlos Zanon, Operations Director of Megastar Technical and Construction Company Limited, confirmed that the facility would feature solar power, conference halls, a medical bay, and a crèche for working parents. He assured that the project would meet high construction standards and be completed on schedule. Bayelsa State Head of Civil Service, BOB, Charles Oyema, expressed gratitude to Governor Diri, stating that the Secretariat will fulfill a long-standing need for improved office space for civil servants. A new Nigerian army formation is set to commence operation in Ikire, Ekiti State, with personnel and equipment deployment already on the way. The outgoing commander of 12th Brigade Lokoja, Major General Oluremi Fadiro, disclosed this during a visit to Governor Biodun Oyibanji in Ado Ekiti, accompanied by senior military officials, including the new brigade commander, Brigadier General Kashim Umar Sidi, and Greenson Commander Colonel Kiari Babakura. General Fadiro assessed the new army barrack in Ikere, Ekiti State, expressing satisfaction with its location. He confirmed that personnel would begin operation from a temporary base while requesting additional space for deployment. Governor Ibanji welcomed the development, highlighting the state's commitment to security and investment in safety infrastructure. He assured the army of full collaboration with curb criminal activity and enhance peace. The governor also commended the federal government and military leadership for establishing the 148th Battalion in security-challenged area of the state, emphasizing the administration's swift support for its setup. For nearly 2 months, residents of Rafin, Zofi, and Walumeji in Bauchi metropolis have endured a prolonged blackout that has severely impacted business, students, and daily life. The power outage attributed to the Jos Electricity Distribution Company has left small business owners struggling to survive with grinding machines operation and shop owners incurring additional costs to sustain their livelihood. Frustrated residents have repeatedly appealed to JED and government for intervention, but their complaints have gone unanswered. The Rafin Rufi Community Youth Forum has intensified calls for urgent action ongoing, urging the Bauchi state government and local authorities to address the situation before it worsens. The Osun State Chapter for All Progressive Congress has urged the Attorney General of the Federation, the Accountant General of the Federation, and Governor of Central Bank to disregard a letter from the Osun State government introducing a newly elected local government chairman for the February 2022 council poll. In a statement signed by the party's Director of Media and Information, Kola Olabisi, the APC described the letter as illegitimate, arguing that the People's Democratic Party council bosses were not duly elected. The party referred a court appeal judgment from February 10, 2025, which reinstated local government executive elected in October 2022, but removed by Governor Ademola Adeleke. The APC criticized the governor for disregarding legal advice from the AGF, who had earlier warned against holding fresh elections since the 2022 chairmen and councillors were still serving in their tenure. The opposition party further alleged that the Osun State government sought a favorable ruling from a lower court to override the appeals court decisions, and called on federal authorities to reject the state government's action, labeling them as a violation of judicial authority. The humanitarian crisis in Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe state has worsened due to funding cuts affecting food security, healthcare, education, and protection services. The World Food Programme warns of reduced food ration by April 2025, exacerbating malnutrition risks, especially among children and pregnant women. Healthcare facilities face shortage of medical supplies and personnel, compromising responses to disease outbreaks like cholera and measles. Education programs have also suffered disrupt, leaving many children without access to schooling, while protection services for vulnerable groups, including women and children, have been scaled back. Humanitarian organizations have been forced to reduce operation, affecting programs tackling severe acute malnutrition. Calls for stronger government involvement and resources mobilization have intensified to bridge funding gaps and ensure long-term intervention. In a related development, the Borno state government has repatriated over 70,000 Nigerian refugees from Chad. The returnees, of whom fled conflict, were provided with relief materials and cash supports. However, security concerns and inadequate infrastructure remain challenges in reintegration. Meanwhile, the United Nations Mine Action Services have reported at 118% rise in civilian casualties from improved explosive devices in 2024, the highest since 2020. The growing threat of explosive ordnance is restricting humanitarian efforts and posing severe risks to civilians. Stakeholders emphasize the urgent need for increased funding, coordinated government actions, and strengthened humanitarian interventions to mitigate the worsening crisis and support affected population in rebuilding their lives. The Federal Operation Unit Zone A of the Nigerian Customs Service has seized 445 bags of smuggled rice at Ijom Town, Ogun State. The rice illegally brought in from Benin Republic was intercepted after the vehicle transporting it broke down. Speaking at the media briefing, Custom Area Controller Kola Oladeji attributed the operation's success to intelligence efforts, stating that officers swiftly acted on information about planned smuggling activities. He assured that despite challenges posed by the terrain, the unit successfully executed the seized goods. Oladeji emphasized that customs adhered to engagement rules to avoid conflicts within border communities. He acknowledged that some smugglers escaped with part of the consignment but affirmed ongoing effort to track them. He also praised Controller General Bashir Adewale Adeniyi for providing essential logistics, highlighting the agency's commitment in curbing smuggling activities. Now on to Yobe State. The State Minister of Youth and Sport, Social and Community Development, in collaboration with UNICEF, has organized a one-day capacity building training in Damaturu to enhance transitional justice efforts. The training aimed to equip stakeholders with skills to development community-driven initiative for peace and reconciliation. Buka May Modu, Child Protection Technical Officer, emphasized a community-based approach, allowing locals to determine methods of sustainable peace. Participants included representatives from key ministries, religious leaders, and community members from Gudba, Damaturu, Gaidam. The Reverend Ibrahim Kuru Adaku of the Christian Association of Nigeria highlighted the need for justice for victims and perpetrators, while District Head Abba Hassan Mai Kuta stressed the role of traditional rulers in ensuring fairness. UNICEF consultant Samuel Orahi noted that women and children suffer the most in conflicts, advocating for transitional justice programs that integrate local dispute resolution tradition to reduce stigma for returning ex-combatants. Now to Delta State. The Delta State House of Assembly has unanimously passed a vote of confidence in Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, commending his developmental initiative and civil service welfare programs. The motion, moved by Majority Leader Honorable Emeka Nwabi and seconded by Honorable Alapala Anthony, highlighted the governor's approval of 275 billion naira for state development, with lawmakers acknowledging the impact of its policies across all local government areas. In a related development, the House advanced the Delta State Contemporary and Alternative Medicine Regulation Bill 2024, so to second reading. Leading sponsor, Honorable Chief Onwo, emphasized the bill's objective to rebrand the Traditional Medicine Board, moving away from participants of fetishism, while enhancing state revenue and regulating traditional medical practitioners. The bill was subsequently referred to the Special Committee on Bills for further review, with a report executed by April 1st, 2025. We'll go for a break now.
Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Welcome back. We are glad you're still with us. Going on now, a violent communal clash in Taura local government area of Jigawa State has left Gidan Narua Fulani settlement in ruins, with 24 houses and 16 local drainage set ablaze. The incident, which occurred on Sunday night, was reportedly triggered by disputes between Hausa and Fulani communities, escalating into a retaliatory attack by youths from Zango Maje village. According to a statement from the Jigawa State Police Command spokesperson SP Suhu Adam, the conflict began when two individuals, Musa Husseini and Shanu Sule, both from Zango Meji, were allegedly assaulted and had their motorcycles stolen. In response, the mobilized youth from their village, who stormed Gidan Narua, setting houses and food stores on fire. The police responded swiftly, raiding the areas and arresting 5 suspects linked to the attack. Authorities have since intensified patrols in the community to prevent further escalation and restore normalcy. SP Adams warned residents against taking the laws into their hands, urging them to report grievances to appropriate authorities for resolution. The police command assured that those responsible for the destruction would face justice, emphasizing the commitment to maintaining peace and order in the state. The National Universities Commission has approved the establishment of the Cross River State University of Education and Entrepreneurship, making it its Nigeria's 67th state university. NUC Executive Secretary Abdullahi Yusuf Ribadu presented the recognition letter to Cross River State Secretary to the government, Professor Anthony Owanueno. This milestone underscored the state's commitment in advancing education, innovation, and entrepreneurship. The university is expected to provide quality education while equipping students with entrepreneurial skills to navigate the evolving economy. The Cross River State government believes this initiative will help reduce unemployment, addressing insecurities, and boost economic development. Now to Katsina State, Governor Diko Umar Rada of Katsina State has officially received the evaluation report on private health training institution operating within the state, following a thorough assessment by a government-appointed panel. The report presented during the State Executive Council meeting on March 12, 2025, revealed that only 9 out of 31 private health college assessed met the required operational standards, raising concern over the proliferation of standard institutions. The panel, inaugurated on October 25, 2024, was tasked with scrutinizing the compliance of private health training institutions with regulatory and professional guidelines. Dr. Fausa Umar Keita, the panel chairman and commissioner for land and physical planning, delivered the findings, emphasizing that the majority of the institutions failed to meet essential requirements. He noted that many of these colleges lacked the necessary facilities, qualified personnel, and accreditation needed to provide quality healthcare education. Governor Rada commended the panel for its meticulous work and reiterated his administration's commitment to upholding educational excellence in the health sector. Stressing the importance for proper training for healthcare professionals, he stated that only institutions that meet the stipulated standard will be allowed to operate in the state. As part of immediate action, he directed the formation of a white paper committee to review the implement the panel's recommendation. The evaluation panel comprised key experts and stakeholders, including Dr. Muhammad Bashir Umar, former special advisor on higher education, Rabiu Adu Ruma, a retired permanent secretary, Dr. Meimuya Aliu, director of Public Health at the Ministry of Health, Shuaibu Aliu, the Auditor General for Local Governments, Safiya Natu Meikanu Mani, pioneer provost of the College of Health Sciences, and Abubakar Saminu, who served as the panel secretary. The government's decision action underscores its resolve to enhance healthcare education and safeguard public health by ensuring that only accredited and well-equipped institutions produce the next generation of healthcare professionals. The Enugu State government has reaffirmed its commitment to transparency and accountability, vowing to take action against illegal revenue tax forces operating in the states. Secretary to the state government, Professor Chidibere Unya, expressed claims that the government has established a government house environmental task force to collect revenue. He commended the activities of unauthorized groups posing as government agents and pledged to investigate and prosecute those involved. Professor Unya clarified that only official recognized committee focuses on addressing threats and creating a legal reconciling framework in collaboration with the Enugu State Waste Management Authority. He warned residents against making payments to unauthorized collectors and stated the governor, Peter Mba, has directed the immediate recovery of funds obtained through illegal means. The government reiterated that no task force has been authorized to collect environmental revenue and assured strict penalties for offenders. On to Kogi State, the Kogi State Internal Revenue Services has officially launched the implementation of Land Use Charge Law 2024, describing it as a strategic move to enhance infrastructure, improve public services, and foster economic growth. Speaking at the unveiling ceremony in Lokoja, the executive chairman, Alhaji Saliu Sule Ene, expressed that the law is not just a levy, but an investment in the state's future. He highlighted that the initiative will strengthen the state's revenue base, support local government funding, and facilitate data-driven governance. He further called on stakeholders to support the policy, stressing that a secured revenue system is fundamental to good governance. The special advisor to the state's governor on revenue generation, Rahman Rasiu, commended the Kogi State Internal Revenue for its initiative and assured continued government support for its success. Meanwhile, the Kogi State Internal Revenue Director in charge of ministries, departments, and agencies urged media organizations to help sensitize the public on law's benefits. The Nasarawa State government has reaffirmed its commitment to adopting modern techniques to enhance its fisheries sector, positioning the state among Nigeria's leading fish-producing region. Governor Abdullahi Sule made this declaration at the second edition of the Ferifura Annual Fishing Festival held in Tuga, Nufuwa, Lafia local government area. He emphasized that the fishery industry, a long-lasting economic activities, has the potential to drive sustainable growth and revenue generation for the state. The governor assured that his administration would implement policies to protect fish stock and resolve conflicts among fishing communities. He also noted that the annual festival plays a crucial role in preserving cultural heritage while boosting tourism and local economic activities. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Umar Abdullahi, commended the government's dedication to agricultural development, particularly in fishery subsector. Similarly, Lafia local government chairman Haliru Arabo and Tunga Nufusa community leader Alhaji Ahmad Jubrin lauded Governor Sule for patronizing the fishing festival and called for its continued support. The event concluded with an exhibition of various fish species, showcasing the rich aquatic resources of Fefurua Lake, which was recently designated as a key site for the annual festival. The people of Enmugu Uwa Adi in Nkolka local government area of Anambra State celebrated the 2025 Opoto Cultural Festival with great enthusiasm. The four-day festival serves as a general thanksgiving for a successful harvest and marks the beginning of a new farming season. Leading the celebration, the traditional ruler of Agidi Igwe, Michael Okechuke, emphasized that the event, which attracts both Christians and non-Christian participants, is free from any fetish practices. Performing the kola nut breaking ritual at his palace, he emphasized gratitude for past agricultural success and prayed for divine blessing upon the land and its people. Community leaders, including President General David Onura, described this year's festival as the most remarkable in the history, fostering unity among residents. Stakeholders such as Ozo John Onura highlighted the festival's significance as a time for homecoming and social bonding, with many suitors using the occasion to find brides. Coordinators of the 2025 Opoto Festival, Iche Ifeanyi, noted that this year's edition was historic, bringing together the entire community in an atmosphere of love and cultural pride. The event featured traditional Ogene dance, masquerade displays, and communal feasting, with dignitaries from across the state, including government representatives, joining the celebration. A close aide to former Sokoto State Governor Alhaji Tatihiru Daltu Bafarawa has refuted claims of his defection to Social Democratic Party. The aide, who spoke anonymously, stated that they were unaware of the reports which had gained traction on social media. The former governor had previously announced his departure from the People's Democratic Party last year, citing the desire to shift focus to developmental initiatives for northern Nigeria rather than political activities. The aide former clarified that Bafarawa is currently out of the country on a trip to Umma. Meanwhile, efforts are on the way to identify the source of the social media post that spread the defection rumor. 9 surveyors who were abducted in Akure North local government area of Ondo State had regained their freedom after their families paid a ransom of 20 million naira. The victims, who were carrying out surveying work at the site in Ilu-Abo, were kidnapped last year by unidentified gunmen. Initially, the kidnappers demanded a ransom of 100 million naira to free them. However, following negotiations and pleas for the market women, the amount was reduced from 50 million naira and was later settled after 20 million naira. Sources familiar with the negotiation revealed that the abductors insisted on immediate payment before setting the victims free. The release was confirmed in Akure, the state capital, by Pastor Ajibade Owolanke, a relative of High Chief Oluwole Omotoya, the Ajemi King of Akure. According to Owolanke, the surveyors have since reunited with their families after the ransom was delivered. However, it remains unclear whether security operatives played any role in securing their freedom. Despite the development, as part of the time of filing this report, the Ondo State Police Command has not issued an official statement on the abduction or the circumstances surrounding the victim's release. The incident adds to the growing concerns over the rising cases of kidnapping in the region, with residents and stakeholders calling for enhanced security measures to curb this menace. The Edo State government is facing intense criticism over escalating insecurity and economic decline, with many blaming the administration for failing to sustain key initiatives established by its predecessor. Reports indicate that over 40 people have been kidnapped in the state within 3 months. As cases of kidnapping and violent crimes continue to surge, critics argue that the government's abandonment of community-based security network and technology-driven crime-fighting strategies has exacerbated the situation. The PDP Action Group has accused the government for negligence, alleging that its failure to maintain crucial security infrastructure has contributed to the spike in crime. Additionally, the Edo State Inland Revenue Services has reported a significant drop in internally generated revenue, falling from 7 billion naira to 4.7 billion naira. Alongside a decline in taxpayer count, the opposition PDP has further alleged financial mismanagement, claiming that the government has outsourced tax enforcement to private firms with a history of diverting public funds. In response, the government has denied this allegation, countering that the PDP leadership is behind the rising cases of kidnapping in the state. The economic downturn had a severe impact on businesses, and many shutting down early due to security concerns. The state's GDP has also seen a sharp decline, dropping from $25 billion to $17.6 billion. Amid growing public outcry, residents and stakeholders are calling on the government to take urgent measures to address security challenges and revive the state's struggling economy. The Federal Ministry of Transportation has dismissed allegation that Minister Said Akali diverted a 3 billion naira railway project from the southeast to Gombe State for political reasons. In a statement issued by Director of Information Janet McDixon, the ministry described the claim as false, malicious and misleading, clarifying that no railway construction is currently ongoing in Gombe State. The statement emphasized that the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Narrow Gauge Railway Rehabilitation Project awarded in 2020 to China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation is progressing a bit slowly due to fund constraints. It reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to complete the project while urging media platforms to verify information before publication. This is the end of the news hour for today, but before we go, here's a recap of the major headlines. The Kano State government has reiterated its commitment to strengthening collaboration with online media organizations to enhance information dissemination. The Taraba State chapter of the Institute of Dietetics in Nigeria marked Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day 2025 on March 12 with a public awareness event at the Taraba State main market. Also, the head of Civil Service of the Federation, Damididi Wilson Jack, expressed enthusiasm over the Bayelsa State government's construction